Hello there. The British Labour Party's foreign policy expert David Lammy rules out Britain's return to the EU, despite the serious disadvantages from Brexit. In a keynote speech, the shadow foreign minister said that pragmatism was more important to Labour than ideology. I would say it's voters. At the same time, he emphasized that political or economic reunification with Brussels was out of the question for the strongest opposition party. Even under Labour, Great Britain will not return to the EU customs union or the single market, not talking about the EU itself. Party leader Keir Starmer had previously ruled out withdrawing Brexit. According to commentators, let's say insurance is aimed primarily at people in the traditional Labour strongholds known as the Red Wall in northwest England, where a majority voted in favour of Brexit. Labour is now well ahead of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's ruling Conservatives in the polls, but they lost right there when Boris was running. The next general election is scheduled for 2024. It's time to leave behind the old arguments that have divided the country, is what Lammy said. We are determined to govern for all, not just those who hold a particular view. Well, 60% of the population is not particular, but relations with the EU must be normalized, said Lammy. It is catastrophic that 3 years after Brexit there are still no regular meetings with the EU, he said. The Conservative government's policies have isolated Britain in Europe and severely weakened the British economy. Labour wants to repair the damage done. Yeah, what do you want to do? Come back to the single market and repair the damage or not? The review of the trade agreement with the EU agreed for 2025 offers a good opportunity, for example, to lower trade barriers that still exist or to strengthen cooperation in science. The Brexit debate has dominated daily events not only in the United Kingdom since 2030. Here in the EU as well, Great Britain's exit from the EU repeatedly caused debates and disputes, but it got silent in the public. Because what Lammy is saying is he wants closer trade relations with the EU, but that was the whole point of the difficult negotiations in 2020. Closer trade relations, less barriers, means more alignment with EU rules. But ruling out rejoining the single market, how does that fit? You cannot get any closer trade relations without getting more aligned to EU rules, which are all scrapped at the moment, by the way. And Labour is sending so different signals that I even, because it's always funny to see, understand Nigel Farage and using this as a weapon now against Labour and the Conservatives, by the way. I watched at his last comment on GB News on the speech of Lammy, and it was really funny. It's not so funny if you have to live in the consequences that came out of what he did, but his comment, hilarious. But Labour, with this, will not do any better than the Conservatives. And I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.